Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another edition of Before I Go Wrong. Not where I went wrong, but Before I Go Wrong. And in this edition of Before I Go Wrong, I'll be doing Before I Go Wrong, UFC 285, Jones versus Gane. So yeah, this is my first look, my initial predictions, definitely subject to change. Could also end up being my end result predictions, my final predictions, but I definitely will do follow-up videos like my quick picks and my full card prediction video. But yeah, so this is just my initial picks. Is it right now? Could be final, most likely won't. So yeah, let's just run through this card and see where my head is at currently with all these picks. And you guys can leave in the comment section how you feel about these picks or how you feel about this, feel about that fight. And any Dawson, just want to say hi, bye, whatever. So yeah. First fight we have in the bantamweight division, Cody Garbrandt versus Trevin Jones in the high season right here. So I'm gonna go Cody Garbrandt right now. Low confidence right here. Probably not even gonna be a pick I'm ever gonna be like, oh my gosh, I could do this, do that with this one. Probably mostly just gonna avoid this fight to be like all together. But yeah, I'm going with Cody Garbrandt here as of right now. I feel like he's the better striker. The thing with him is fight IQ at times and chin. But Trevor Jones has some bit of grappling, but I don't think grappling ain't gonna be any strength for him in this one, unless maybe he hurt Cody Garbrandt, which again comes down to chin. Like he get hurt, get knocked out, could get hurt, could get submitted. But other than that, without connecting on him, I feel like Garbrandt should be the better striker, should be the faster striker, and the better overall fighter as far as like he get the fight to the mat, he get the stuff to takedowns, and Jones is relying on catching with that big shot. But again, Garbrandt does make some bad mistakes, and all it does take is one. And it's not a case where Garbrandt's getting matched with a guy that has pillow hands. That'd probably be the perfect matchup for Garbrandt right now. Get a pillow-handed fighter that can't knock no one out, never knock no one out. Can land the best shot they want and still really can knock anyone out. That'd be a perfect stylistic matchup for Garbrandt. Give him a couple fighters that got pillow hands. But Jones, as we know, he has upset ability. He has power in his hands. He's unorthodox, and he can catch you slipping. So that makes that fight a low confident pick. If Jones ends up being a big dog, maybe like, oh, put some money on that. Or maybe the knockout was like a plus 300 for Jones or something, plus 400, maybe. But as far as straight prediction point right now, calling Cody Garbrandt. And that is subject to change. Now to our next fight we have in the welterweight division, Ian Machado Gary versus Keenan Song, and this one is locked. Method is up for debate, but as far as who's winning, Ian Machado Gary or just Ian Gary, that's just, I'm just gonna say Ian Gary. Lock. Probably the easiest fight to pick on this whole card is, without a doubt, Ian Gary to beat Keenan Song. Keenan Song, I don't know why he's still in the UFC, to be honest. Solid, okay fighter and stuff, but should have been cut a long time ago. I guess he's been brought in here to keep Ian Gary busy. Ian Gary has the length, the size, the technique, the skill, the talent, all that above Song. Song don't really have any avenue except maybe a lucky punch, and even that. And Gary's a young guy with a young chin and stuff, so his chin should hold it pretty well, even if he does get caught with something big. But even that, I'm not really giving Song that much of a puncher's chance to win this one. So Gary is locked to do about whatever he wants. But I guess with Gary, he tends to be a decisionator, so it's probably gonna be a decision. He probably should put him away. And definitely, if the odds looking good on a finish, then definitely there. But Ian Gary is a good straight pick or ML pick, majority line, or whatever case, he's a good pick for that. And you could bet a lot of money on him. And definitely a good parlay piece as well. Definitely a good parlay piece as well. Yeah, max confidence, Ian Gary on that one. And I think he only still minus 300, minus 350 right now, which is a big steal. So that's insane right now. I would think he probably would have been minus 1,000 by the night, because unless they get a Keenan Song confused with Yadong Song or something like, oh, this guy's good. Nah, he's not Yadong Song. This is Keenan Song, the relative that's nobody talks about no more. And yeah, now to the next one we got in the bantamweight division, Martinez versus Cameron Simon, and this one's actually very much open for opportunities for Martinez. Cameron Simon can be a bit aggressive on the feet, which can lead him to walk in the counters for Martinez. Martinez definitely has a good shot here, but struggling with Brandon Davis, coming off a split decision over Brandon Davis, I got to go with the young kid, Cameron Simon, to get it done. Can't say, his path to victory is that clean, but just based off the fact that he is a bright prospect and he has his glow to him right now. He has his momentum to him, and Martinez, is a solid fighter, but he's definitely not a fighter that's so elevated or so great or so good. He's good. He's all right. He's all right. And he's coming off a split decision over Brandon Davis, so this is kind of like some MMA algebra right here. But yeah, he's struggling with Brandon Davis, coming off his last fight in a split decision. I feel like Cameron Simon, based off that, you just look at fighter for fighter, you probably say, oh, average confidence. But based off momentum, it's going to be a high confidence pick for Cameron Simon. But again, subject to change, but I'm definitely thinking I'm not shifting for Cameron Simon on that one. It probably help a lot if Cameron Simon can mix it up and wrestle real well, but I don't really see that too much from him. But I think it's somewhere in his plethora, but I don't know, to the level to make Martinez an easy money pick. against. But yeah, really with this one, largely momentum purely pushing that to high confidence. And yeah, next one we have in the middleweight division, Derek Brunson versus Dricus du Plessis. Ain't got to go Dricus du Plessis here, probably going to be high confident. Derek Brunson's a beast and whatnot, but the man's pushing 40. Blonde Brunson has lost. That was his last, well, hoorah. Yeah, got much respect for Brunson, like him as a fighter, like his personality, cool dude and all that, but Father Time is undefeated, Mother Time, whatever case, Time is undefeated. And it's not like these guys are all that different, to be honest. Brunson, obviously, I feel like at his peak, he was a much better than du Plessis, to be honest. Both guys have awkward, unorthodox striking, but Brunson has more power. He's more explosive, especially in his prime. More credentials, skills in the wrestling. I think better BJJ, better overall. But again, Time catches up with everybody. I think what's going to come down is going to be a weird fight between two weird unorthodox guys. I think Brunson's going to be the crack du Plessis early, but du Plessis is going, like I said, he's going to be rocked and wobbling, probably skipping a little bit. But when Brunson gets hit with something clean, he's going to be on slippery slopes. He's going to be, his leg going to turn into gumbo. His leg going to turn into with a silly goop, or his leg going to turn into Play-Doh. Or his leg going to turn to putty. He don't have that stability. He's going to be rolling over himself. And the Plessis is going to go for the kill, get that TKO, probably like second round. But probably a fun fight for 1 round and a half. But the Plessis ultimately been the one that could wear the damage more. And Brunson not been able to take damage. He hit you like, you get hit like he got hot. I'm trying to throw this reference in there. I'm messing up. Let me just did it. Basically, the Plessis is going to be with his youth his youth on his side. And also, Brunson never been a guy to take damage that well. He get hit, even in his prime, he get hit. He turned into a wacko. I don't know. I'm messing up all my analogies right here. Let me just stop analogy. I'm trying to make these analogies, and it's just not flowing today. It's not flowing. It's not flowing at all. But anyway, yeah, he never been the guy that take damage. He has never been the guy that takes damage all that well. He never wears it very well. Once he start getting hit, he's just don't see the best Brunson. You never see Brunson in a fight where it's like literally a dog fight, back and forth. He's taken down. I mean, it might be moments when we get one big shot or something and it'd be okay, but never the case with like literal heat being traded back and forth with Brunson and he wears it so well. I feel like the Plessis has been in fights where he has took some damage and he has been in these big scraps. And also again, being like a younger guy by like 7 years or 8 years or like 10 years, something like that. Well, probably like 8 years. Yeah, so I think the Plessis is going to wear the damage better. And ultimately, he's going to be able to be one to wear down Brunson, dish the damage back to Brunson, and put him away probably second round. So, yeah, going to Plessis right now. And that pick likely not changing at all. Next one we have in the middleweight division, Julian Marquez versus Marc-Andre Barriault. And how I see one right here is, I didn't think another case where one fighter is tougher than the other. Yes, Marquez is coming off a TKO loss, and Barriault's coming off like a submission loss. So, hey, his chin's been touched more. But it's not like Andre Barriault is this big power puncher. I think he is the fighter that will likely mix it up more. But yeah, I haven't seen Barriault mix it up all that well, to be honest, at this level. But it's definitely one of these fights that can be subject to change. But I think I'm gonna stick with Marquez. I've seen a lot of performance from Barriault. I just don't like things from him. And I feel like Barriault might be okay with trying to mix up for a little bit, but just for a little bit. But I feel like once he start getting in touch with some power, I feel like Barriault's gonna start to wilt. And I gonna start to see him panic wrestle, panic grapple. And he might get snapped up and guillotine, or he might just get finished up. But either way, I think with this one, I'm gonna think Marquez in the distance. Yeah, so going Julian Marquez right now. Not super confident or super high on that matchup in any way, or not super interested in that matchup. But hey, right now, I gotta go Julian Marquez. Next fight we have in the flyweight division, women's flyweight division, we got Viviane Araujo versus Amanda Hebos. And how I see this one right here is I'm going definitely a tosser right now. I'm going to go Amanda Hebos. Not a whole lot of confidence, but when I look at Viviane Araujo's most recent performances, and even some of her most recent, well, I'm just looking at most recent fight. She has been a little bit sloppy in her technique. She has been letting her technique go by the wayside and just swinging big shots. Like she would like to grapple a bit. I feel like Rebus can address the grappling or invite the grappling and try to out-grapple her. I think she can have great success out-grappling. I think pure BJJ-wise, I think Hebus is the better grappler. Pure BJJ-wise, wrestling-wise, it's a toss-up. But I feel like they grapple. I feel like Hebus will get the advantage in that area. And I feel like Hebus is a bit chinny, but I feel like her striking technique right now is overall clean. I feel like Araujo has had moments where her technique was cleaner, but right now her technique has been a little bit sloppy, and I feel like Hebus' technique has been sharper. So just based off that, I got to go Hebus right now. Very, very close fight to win this one. But I'll look more into it later on, and maybe that'll shift. This is definitely a pick that is subject to change. Will it? We don't know, but it's definitely one of the picks I'm not definitely not sure on. Now to our next fight we have in the bantamweight division. Basharat versus Damon Blackshear, and I see right here. Damon Blackshear is an amazing athlete, solid fighter and all. But I think one of his issues with him is being able to establish a pace and maintain that through 3 rounds or through five rounds. That's where his issue lies. You can see the sparks of greatness or the sparks of talent, or you can see that it factor for a little bit, but you can't see it over a sustained period of time. And I see this one right here, I feel like Basharat is going to it might be a little bit dicey in the first round. Damon Blackshear might have some moments in the first round, but I think Basharat never going to be any true danger in the first round. Stay calm, stay cool, stay calm, land his shots on the feet. Blackshear going to try to mix it up. Might have some limited success getting the takedown. But ultimately, beyond that first round, I think Basharat's going to go into the driver's seat, fully in the driver's seat, just pick him apart. Might get him out of there, might just pick him apart to decision, respecting the grappling threat, respecting the power, and just pick him apart from distance, and to stand on his P's and Q's, not overcommitting, and just winning a clear-cut decision. Yeah, so Basharat in that one. Yeah, now to the next one we have in the women's strawweight division. We got Jessica Penney versus Tabitha Ricci. And I'm just going to get to the point. Penney's up there in age. Ricci's right there in her prime. She's a little bit undersized, but she is active for her little size. She does, like I said, she gets active in the striking, gets active in the grappling. She might not have no real power or anything or no real threat on the feet, but she'll let those hands go and she'll mix up the grappling. I think really in this one, she's going to outpace Penney. Penney she's been submitted like 1 time, so it's more likely going to be a decision. But so right now I'm going Tabitha Ricci, and this one is not changing. So I'm going Tabitha Ricci, whether it be submission or stick with the proven path decision. That's up for debate, or that's up for more research. But right now, and for the future and for whatever, this is going to be my pick. It's not changing. Tabitha Ricci is the pick that's staying. The method is what's pending. Now to our next fight, we have in the lightweight division, Gamrot versus Jalen Turner. And I got to go Jalen Turner here. I feel like he's the more well-rounded fighter. He might always try to say Gamrot is the striker. I mean, he has good this, good that. But I really say Gamrot, he's a good chain wrestler. Okay, passable striking, but that's about it. Solid fighter, but for sure I know he is no real threat or of any interest in the actual big picture in the division. Like, he could have some good fights around the top, but as far as against Islam Makhachev, he presents no threat to Makhachev. If Volkanovski was somehow to come up here and fight him, he would present no real threat to Volkanovski. Yeah, but he would present some threats to other people. Maybe Charles Oliveira, maybe a little bit. But current champion and Volkanovski, not a whole lot. But anyway, that's besides the point. I'm going Jalen Turner here. I feel Jalen Turner's takedown defense was a little bit questionable with the Frivola fight, and they say he had injury, and I'm going to trust that at least with this one until this fight maybe proves otherwise. And this definitely be a tester to see where is his wrestling defense, where is his grappling defense at for Jalen Turner. But I do think Jalen Turner has a much higher ceiling than Gamrot, and he definitely has a ceiling to be a champion, to beat those guys like Volkanovski, to beat those guys like Islam Makhachev. But this is definitely a big test to see where is his wrestling at, and that's something Gamrot could test on. But I think on the feet, Jalen Turner, to make easy work of Gamrot on the feet. And I think that's what will happen for Gamrot's going to be expecting to mix in the takedowns well, but I think Jalen Turner's going to respond, threaten with the chokes, get him to have to give up position, have to drop the takedown or give up the takedown or succeed the takedown attempts when Jalen Turner attempts with these high elbow guillotines. And he's going to spin out and just give up position. But Gamrot will be relentless with those takedowns, but I think Jalen Turner will do a very good job of defending them. And he will find those moments on the feet. I think he will hurt Gamrot and make his presence known very quickly in the fight. I think he'll get Gamrot out of there. Maybe it'll be a knockout, maybe a submission, but I think Jalen Turner in the distance. Submission definitely looking pretty juicy in that one. Hurting him, then tapping him out. But round, and whether it's a KO or submission, to be determined. But right now I'm going to pick Jalen Turner, and I don't think I'm changing that one. But again, subject to change. This is the one that's not fully set in stone, but close enough to set in stone for me. Matter of fact, I'm going to say it's set in stone. I ain't changed. I'm going with Jalen Turner. I like Jalen Turner a lot in this one. Like him a lot in this division. And I'm definitely looking forward to see his growth. And I definitely feel he has a higher ceiling, the better overall talent. But this is definitely a tough stylistic matchup for him with the wrestling and the pace. Yeah, now to our next fight we have in the welterweight division, Neal versus Shavkat Rakhmonov. And I see one right here. I'm going to Shavkat Rakhmonov, and this pick is not changing. I think he's going to get it done in the distance. It's just a matter of if he's going to knock him out or he's going to submit him. I think he does both. If Jeff Neal could get blanketed by Neal Magny for 3 rounds or large parts of 3 rounds, I think Shavkat Rakhmonov could have great success in grappling. We all seen Jeff Neal hurt several times. Well, at least by Nickal Price, he got hurt several times. And his defense striking is a little bit square and blunt, chunky at times. I think Shavkat Rakhmonov is too sharp, too long, and would find those openings on the feet. But it hurt him. And yeah, will he get him a TKO or submission? I think it's up for debate. Kind of leaning right now, drop to a sub, or maybe just come out there and just look to latch on him and take advantage of the fact that, hey, I destroyed the guy, that I'll grapple you. So MMA math, I could do that to you. But overall, I feel like Shavkat got him covered in every area. And it's a matter of, yeah, how's he going to get him out? It's not. I mean, he could definitely go to decision with him, but I think Shavkat continues his reign of finishing every opponent he beats. So I think that's going to continue. But yeah, going with Shavkat Rakhmonov in that one. Next one we have in the middleweight division, Jamie Pickett versus Bo Nickal. And how I see this one right here, I'm going Bo Nickal. This pick is not changing. Lock it in. Matter of fact, I ain't going to say this. This is the second easiest fight of the night. Because Gary's actually proven, so that's why you can say Bo Nickal's not proven. So we're not proving anything can happen, but I don't think anything will happen in this one. So this is the second, for me, this is the second biggest lock on the card. Bo Nickal versus Jamie Pickett. That's the second biggest lock for me on the card. Yeah, Keenan Saul proven not to be at this level, and Ian Gary is proven to be one of the better prospects in that division. So, and he's a full rounded talent on the feet, on the ground, and like against actual relevant competition. Bo Nickal has beaten tomato cans, so when we beat tomato cans, you're always subject to get shown that you're not at the level you think you are. Especially if you start to come in with a big head and you get beat by people that should not beat you. So Bo Nickal's still a big lock, all that being said, but he gonna go be a bigger lock than the guy that's actually proven. And also guy proven going there with a guy that's unproven. But yeah. Yeah, I just talked a lot about this one. But anyway, Bo Nickal by any way he wants. He can knock him out, he can submit him. Probably gonna submit him. I think Bo Nickal has been liking the subs a lot. I feel like he's gonna be able to take him down, just manhandle him around the ring, and just tap him out probably in the first round. So in this one, yeah, Bo Nickal. That's my pick for this one. Lock it in. Bo Nickal lock. I ain't saying lock it in and pay what he got, like a minus 2,000. I ain't saying spend $2,000 on there just to win 100. I ain't saying all that. Put them in a parlay, bet the finish or something. That's where you go. Matter of fact, just bet in the distance, because it's going to end in the distance. Bo Nickal in the distance. You probably get a much better value. Probably going to get like minus 300 or minus 200. Then maybe you could load some money up on it. Maybe load up $1 or something on that if you got the pockets for it. But yeah, it probably still gonna be minus 500. But hey, better than minus 2,000. Now to our next fight we have in the co-main event, Valentina Shevchenko versus Alexa Grasso, and how I see this one right here for the undisputed women's flyweight title. I got Valentina Shevchenko. I'm going pretty high confidence here right here. I ain't going to lie, going high confidence. Alexa Grasso definitely have opportunities here. But I feel like Shevchenko can out-wrestle her. I feel like she can out-strike her. It's not like Alexa Grasso being this great volume fighter, push a pace for 5 rounds insane or nothing like that. I think in her last fight, she got outstruck in the final, in the 5th round. Macy Barber, I think, outstruck her and outworked her, outlanded her in the last round. So it's not like Alexa Grasso was this, oh my gosh, this woman throws 200 strikes a round. Like, she outworks everyone. She's not like the super high work rate fighter. She definitely got soft hands. She never, I don't even dropped anyone as far as in the UFC. Maybe she did, but it's not really her track work to be this heavy-handed fighter or this fighter with notable power. Notably low power in her punches and her kicks. Okay volume, but not consistent through rounds. Has been grappled up. So I think Shevchenko is the better submission grappler, the better wrestler. So it's not like Garth's going to be this woman that's go out there and be taking Shevchenko down and grappling her. Even her last fight, well, not her last fight, prior to her last fight, she got struck by faded Joanne Wood. She got outstruck by Calderwood, but then it's grappled with Calderwood and tapped her out. Again, Calderwood was nowhere near the level of Shevchenko. So you got struck with her and you just went to the path of least resistance and tapped her out. But you can't do that with Shevchenko. Shevchenko's, I think, grappling's better than Grasso's, definitely way better than Wood. So I just feel like Shevchenko has her covered everywhere. It's not like she had to worry about no big punch. She's not had to worry about no amazing wrestling, no amazing BJJ. She's going to win there with a fighter who, I don't know. Yeah, she's going to like an okay boxer with no power okay jiu-jitsu, but nothing like of immediate threat. She got respect and all, but yeah, I think Shevchenko could get her out here in the distance, to be honest. Probably mixed up on the feet. They start to grapple her and like sub her like third round or something. But Pickett's not fully in stone as far as the method, but as far as the fighter, it's fully in stone. I said stone. Fully in stone. Fully in stone. Submitted, high confidence, Valentina Shevchenko. Not lock, but high confidence, Valentina Shevchenko. And that is not changing. So my pick for Valentina Shevchenko is not changing, and the high confidence is not changing. It's not going to lock. It's not going to average. It's not going to low. It's not shifting to Grasso. Unless, I don't know, Shevchenko gets staph infection or something, or get knocked out in sparring by some pillow-handed fighter. Like, I don't know, somebody coming in with pillow hands, knock her out. Then like, oh yeah, Piff's going to change. But as they are, Shevchenko's not changing. High confidence not changing, and that's set in stone. So yeah, Valentina Shevchenko in that one. Now to the main event we have in the heavyweight division for the undisputed heavyweight title, the vacated heavyweight title, Jon Jones versus Ciryl Gane, and I'm going Jon Jones right here. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Jon Jones has been winning for years and years. He's been on top since 2011. You can say he took some time off here, took some time off there, but the man has not lost officially. Well, he had that, I say since 2011, so he had that one loss to Matt Hamill that was like in 2009, but that was a DQ. So in his whole career, no official losses. And since 2011, been on top and never officially lost any belt other than to himself. So Jon Jones, baby. I said baby. Jon Jones, guys. I don't know what I'm all over the place. I'm thinking I'm going back to the 90s, 70s with the lingo. Like, where's my mind going? Like, was I even alive then? Was I even alive then? I don't know. I'm almost wrapping up this video. My brain is all over the place, so my lingo's all over the place. I don't know what time period I'm in right now. I'm about to say Daddy-O or something. Like, who do I think I am? Yeah, Jon Jones versus Ciryl Gane. Going with Jon Jones. I ain't saying like, oh, it ain't broke, don't fix it. Lock in Jon Jones, lock it in. Bet the house, bet the casino, bet the whole city. I ain't saying that. Low confidence, Jon Jones. It might shift the average, but I think reality is probably going to stay low confidence Jon Jones. Maybe I see some other things might shift this Ciryl Gane, but right now I think low confidence Jon Jones. That's all that's subject to change. The pick to Jon Jones might switch to Ciryl Gane. The confidence to Jon Jones might go up. Maybe the pick to Ciryl Gane confidence might go up, but definitely a pick that can change. Ciryl Gane is a very game opponent. It's not like Jon Jones has been looking super amazing with his wrestling, still taking people down. And that's kind of the issue of people that aren't, specialists. Like, he could be like probably 90 years old, but he could still wrestle with the best. Yeah, Jon Jones wrestling ain't been looking all. I was going about Khabib. Yeah, we especially that's what you always doing. You always training hard. But these wrestlers kind of get away from that. They kind of train the rest like they fight in more strike. Like, well, I already got wrestling. I'm already at this level with my wrestling. Like, so their wrestling kind of gets soggy or gets rusty. Their grappling gets rusty, or the fact they never use it. So you kind of mostly train and miss. Also, probably it's harder to train and more intensive to train grappling because you all using your full body versus striking. You could look cool, hit some combinations on some pads and stuff. Ain't nobody rolling with you, ain't nobody grinding with you and stuff. You just hitting mitts and stuff, and you just doing a little soft stuff, doing your little cardio kickboxing out there. So it's easier to do that stuff. You can kind of do the wrestling, get back to that stuff, and it's like hard. And like, all of a sudden you get older and you lose it. You can go for like 1 or 2 takedowns or 3 takedowns or something like that. And even when you do, you like barely committing to them. You're like, that's all the takedowns got in me. You probably aren't even scared to wrestle because you feel like, dang, I might gas myself out. And that also could be a concern for Jon Jones, who's going to be wrestling a bigger guy or looking to wrestle a bigger guy or mix the wrestling in with a bigger guy. And yeah, so I already kind of have issues or maybe kind of drawing back from his wrestling. And now trying to implement it. He's older. He's not 23 years old. He's not 24, 25. He's 34, 35, maybe even 36. So there's a lot of different concerns for that. But on Gane's side, who has really tried to wrestle Gane? No one outside of Ngannou. He had great success, and Ngannou ain't the greatest wrestler. He started wrestling for a day, and hey, let me try this in the fight, and it worked. I mean, obviously he trained much more than people realize, and much more than I realize. I'm just joking, but Ngannou definitely don't have the same skill or level of wrestling Jon Jones has. He has more strength. That can play a factor. The surprise, the strength, and the underrated skills he had developed in wrestling helped Ngannou to mix it up with Gane. But yeah, we haven't seen nobody mix it. I don't think I've seen Gane score a takedown in the UFC. I don't think I seen him get taken down. And like I said, one person who we seen actually wrestle him had success in it. Like the people he fought what Tai Tuivasa, they ain't trash wrestling, non-existent wrestling on Tai Tuivasa's side. So, and he couldn't even get a takedown on him. Derek Lewis, barely any wrestling. Tanner Boser, allergic to wrestling a lot of times. Dontel Mays, laughable wrestling. Yeah, so he hasn't really fought nobody that brings wrestling. Volkov, underrated wrestling skills, underrated, but not really an offensive wrestler too much at all. So, yeah, no wrestling threat. Jairzinho Rosenstruck, pure striker. So people he's fought have not had a grappling aspect to them. So John Jones will be bringing him the highest level of wrestling by far that's ever been presented to him or around him. So yeah, that's another factor leading to John Jones. I think John Jones is very crafty, and one thing about John Jones, he does whatever he needs to win. Like, take that for what it is. He does all the precautions that he needs to win all the time, and I think he will be motivated. Because he probably will be scared going to the match. A scared John Jones is most worrisome John Jones. John Jones that just think he got in the bag, like against Reyes or Santos. That's the beatable John Jones. Or Alexander Gustafsson won. Like, he was overconfident in himself and not worried about his opponents. Probably just more so thinking about himself. Now he got an opponent in Gane who can be a big threat for him, who can do some serious damage to him. He's been out, so I think it's going to be probably one of the better John Jones we've seen as of late. Still got to go a little complex, like still a lot of variables we don't know about. But John Jones is without doubt the more well-rounded fighter, the more accomplished fighter. And it's not like he's a whole lot older or I don't know what age is that, but ain't no big gap like John Jones is 40 and Cyril Gane like this right in his prime guy. Like John Jones is like still kind of in his prime or just at the end of his prime. Cyril Gane like right in his prime. So it's like ain't no big gap. But it is a big gap in experience and accomplishments. If John Jones is hungry and can mix it up and can incorporate some new old skill sets, can have a very good night out there. But ultimately, I'm going to have to go John Jones here, low confidence, like his experience, and like his skill set to get it done for him here. And as far as method, definitely still deciding. I don't have even an inkling just yet where I want to go with this one. Is it going to be a finish? Is it going to be a decision? I don't know, but going John Jones, low confidence. So those are my before I go wrong picks right now. That's where my picks are currently at, but not set in stone for the most part. And that's the video. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and come back for more videos. Peace.